beginning of our coaching sessions, you had to go to the United States and deal with other neurosurgeons from there, right? And give presentations and have meetings. How did you feel about how did you feel about that before, you know?
If you remember, I was absolutely afraid of doing that. Absolutely afraid, because it was a big step on my career. I was starting a new fellowship on leadership with a well-known institution, the Congress of Neurologic Surgeons. And yes, I there was a step that a risk that I assumed, because I apply myself to that fellowship, figuring out that I have to learn English before it. That was looking for your help, because it was one step that I think I have some time. I need to improve my English until I got there. And but my confidence was very low at that time. I really struggling a lot. I always do in English in my life, reading, write sometimes, but I have a lot of problem with speaking, expressing myself in English.
Yeah. So after working on that, you know, after helping you prepare for those meetings, what were the impacts? What were the results? How did you improve? How were you able to adapt to those meetings when you had them?
Well, it improved me a lot, because the first was that the first meeting you mentioned was very successful. I have an opportunity to express myself, to talk with people from all around the world, to discuss my ideas, my thoughts, and that gave me confidence to risk more. So I participate in more Congress worldwide. I give lectures worldwide, in the United States and Europe, and this gives me freedom to choose what I want to do, because I don't have this concern anymore that my English will not work, I will not understand well, or not express myself well. Of course, I always improving my English, but in a better level than a strongly better level than before, and I have confidence to take the steps I need to improve myself and to leverage my career, because the words speak in English, especially in medicine. So there was one weaknesses that I had, that with that my career improved a lot. I remember that I was afraid with that in the beginning too. I was afraid, I would need to speak 1 hour in English with a native English teacher without knowing well. But since the beginning, you leave me comfortable doing this. Our sessions always discuss always in English, and we discuss at the beginning a lot of grammar, a lot of English structure, that I had some problems with this, and we discuss some articles related to my career, or related to new learning that I need, and we always discuss in a higher level to how I understand it, how to express my thoughts about it. It wasn't just a teaching and reading session. It was a really interacting session since the beginning. And with the time, I get a lot of confidence that sometimes we even use more time than we have, because we like to talk with each other about the topics we discuss. So they are very helpful at the beginning, starting with the grammar that I had some problems, and now with discussions in a very higher level since we achieve more confidence.
Yeah. How have the sessions helped develop your mindset?
Aligned with our sessions, I was studying a lot about leadership, about things I struggling a lot, and this helped me because we are discussing and reinforcing the same topics. And with this, my mindset might change to what they call a growing mindset. Because as I mentioned, at the time I was a little stuck in my career. I assumed a position, but I wasn't prepared. So I decided I have to prepare. And getting confidence in my English, it allows me to get, if I can do this, I can get confidence in other aspects, in leadership, in everything that I trying to learn. So my mindset is that if I can do this now, I can do a lot of things in my life. So my mindset changed to a growing one.
Yeah. And on the subject of growth, we've been in this like partnership for a couple of years now, right? And I've seen you grow almost exponentially in your career, right? Can you tell me a little bit about that? Like how you've grown in your career as a neurosurgeon, and what impact did our sessions have on that growth?
What is crazy that for a lot of people, the pandemic was a barrier to their career development, but for me, it was absolutely opposite. My career almost skyrocketed with the pandemic because I with the risks I assumed, another course, another learning was put in line with this. So I did 2 post-graduation, 1 fellowship. I did a lot of courses, a lot of presentation lectures in 2 years that I never have had done in my entire life. So I think in a very small space of time, I improve a lot because a lot of things was happen in almost in chain. One thing comes to another, to another, to another, and as you mentioned, was exponentially growth that I could assume greater risks, as you know, as the post-graduation are doing in Harvard and the others, because they give me support to become this. But yeah, and I think back, it was too fast, absolutely, but was absolutely enjoyable, and I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah. You mentioned this Harvard course that you're doing right now. Tell me a little bit about that. How's that been? How's it been doing this course, interacting with other nationalities in English? How have you felt during that?
Yeah, it's the Harvard Surgical Leadership Program. It's a program designed only for surgeons from all around the world to discuss and to improve their leadership skills. Uh, it's really good because we are interacting all the time with people from all around the world, from more than, I think, more than 30 nationalities. And we have a month ago our first interact meeting, and I have the opportunity to discuss a lot with the teachers and from a lot of people from around the world. And as I mentioned, I'm a stage that I strongly confident in my English. I could express myself. I could understand well the others. That's the good part too. And I could enjoy the program itself as it will need it, and I enjoy it a lot. And I don't have any big struggle to it. I felt comfortable. I felt motivated. I felt excited to do this because I put that my English is not an obstacle for it. It wasn't anymore.
Yeah, nice, nice. Yeah, it's great how you can really take advantage of that, isn't it? You know, because sometimes it's a barrier, isn't it? When you go into a situation like that, when you have to speak English in front of other people, you have to understand them. It's really important to understand what's being said. So it can be a barrier when you're not feeling so confident about that, isn't it? So it's amazing to hear that you didn't have that barrier, and consequently, you could really profit from that Harvard course and just get the most out of it, right?
Absolutely. And the secret is preparation. If you don't have enough preparation, you're not good for this.
Yeah.
And while you learn a lot about this, you get well prepared to this situation. It helps a lot, not only to discussion, but to presentation, to lectures that I done in the previous months.
Yeah. Okay, so what would you say to somebody sitting on the fence? You know, somebody who has similar challenges to what you had before starting the coaching, but they're not sure whether to go ahead with it. What would you say to them?
The biggest advice is that if starting an English course was one of the best decision I had in the years before this, because it changed a lot. As I mentioned, it skyrocketed my career, skyrocketed my confidence, uh, creates a great impactful in my life because people notice they're more confident. Is my wife, my friends, my fellows. They know I am assuming more risks. I dealing well with this much better than the beginning. So if someone is dealing with the same problem they are struggling with in English, with its English, uh, English coaching is the best thing I assume to improve my English fluency, and I strongly recommend, because it's well different when of learning English in schools, because in schools are too general. Here we are discussing more individual weakness. And because of this, you correct me. My weakness in a proper way that improving my life. So uh, deciding to do the English course was absolutely a turning point in my life, and it can be to anyone that is struggling with a similar problem.